Washington, D.C. is widely known for two things. It is often seen as the nation's hub for politics and has been called the Ivory City for all of its illustrious monuments and landmarks. People come from all over the world to visit some of American history's greatest sculptures and architecture. However, not all of DC's monuments are wrapped in ivory stone. One particular landmark that you won't find on Pennsylvania Avenue or in the National Mall is Ben's Chili Bowl. Since its birth in 1958, it's helped serve a lot of customers, and there's something a little bit more special than what's on its menu. Ben Ali created his own success by learning the ins and outs of the restaurant industry while attending the University of Nebraska. Shortly after some time in Washington, D.C. as a maitre d', Ben was ready to take on the industry with his own restaurant, Ben's Chili Bowl.
When we opened in 1958, this was a very classy but still segregated community. We were supported by the community supported us, we supported them, and we were a very popular place because we looked new and modern. We had a big plate glass window, you could see all the way through the restaurants, and it was a very strong neighborhood at the time. But the big change came in 1968 when Dr. King was assassinated. When the rioting occurred, businesses were looted and burned and never reopened. Middle-class African Americans moved away. So it was very difficult to be here, but we managed to stay. The community still was, what was left of the community still kind of protected us, I'd say.
Why did Ben's not burn down, which is an interesting question. Actually, this whole block was preserved. This was really an important spot because the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee was across the street, SNCC. And that's where Stokely Carmichael was, Marion Barry, Johnny Wilson. That's where the black militant civil rights leaders met. When the fires began, they always ate here, they always spent time here, they had meetings here. They made sure that this block was preserved, that the Ben's was preserved. So Stokely Carmichael himself came over and suggested to the brothers, please don't mess around with Ben's because they're part of family. Stokely
Carmichael was a regular. He came every single day during the summer. H. Rap Brown, we've known, we saw him as well. And of course Martin Luther King, and had a satellite office at 14th and U, so whenever he was in town, in his office up there, he'd come to Ben's. It was just the place that you could count on to be open every single day and every single night except Thanksgiving and Christmas. We were here to serve the community. And I think that, we were a business that could be depended on, a family that could be depended on for help when we could help. And that's what we enjoy doing. And, I have only good things to say about my experience here, in spite of what we've had to endure. And we've had to endure a great deal. In the late 80s, when this district decided to build us a subway system, they dug up the entire street, 65 feet down in front of our door. Not a single lane of traffic could pass in front of the Chili Bowl. It was very devastating for us and for the other businesses, which were only, by the time they finished that, there were 3 businesses here. Ben's Chili Bowl, Industrial Bank, and Lee's Flower Shop.
We call it the green monster that ate U Street. It was a 60-foot hole all the way down the street, and the sidewalks were completely blocked, and you couldn't get in and out of the businesses. Consequently, a lot of businesses folded. In fact, customers had to go through the alleyway to get the Ben's, but guess what? They kept coming. And they kept coming because they knew that Ben's was a place to get something good, inexpensive, and quick. And also, Ben's has always been here as a family, and they wanted to continue to support the business.
We were the survivors, and so when they opened that subway system in '91, I had a huge banner put across our store that said, "We survived the Metro." And the media took many, many photos of it, and of course the ceremony was right across the street. And once that subway opened, the new businesses came into town. Many new businesses were opening here, and the condos were being built, and townhouses were being built, and now we are a really new, vibrant neighborhood. I've known so many of our patrons for 57 years. And now their children and their grandchildren even. So for me, they're my family. You know, for me, it's a little hot dog stand. It's still a little hot dog stand. But my sons have come in and their wives, and they've expanded it and carrying on the legacy that Ben and I tried to get going. And they're doing a great job. And I'm just grateful to our community and to our patrons and to the media and to everybody. I'm really just plain old grateful for what I've experienced here at Ben's.
Ben's Chili Bowl is more than just another successful establishment. It has deep historical roots and ties to its community. No matter how much they evolve, they will always stand for the people. My name is Sean Rosa, and you've just been buzzed.